Let's bring in our next guest. He's expected to carry the load at running back this fall. During his freshman season, he ran for a team-high 518 yards and 4 touchdowns. His sophomore season begins in August. It's our pleasure to welcome L.J. Martin to the Wise Guys, and Darius is listening closely now because, you know, you had a chance to listen to him. Now he's got a chance
he just wants to make sure that he doesn't contradict anything that Darius said.
It's great to have you here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. How was year one now that you get ready for year two and you're older, wiser, and far removed from high school?
Yeah, year one was really fun for me. You know, just going out there, being able to play, and, you know, just to get to know the guys was really fun.
You know, Darius mentioned that a couple of injuries early on, and next thing you know, you're in there. When you came, did you expect, man, as a freshman, I'm going to have to carry the load right away? Was that your expectation, or was that a surprise to you?
No. Coming in, when I signed, you know, looking at the other guys they signed, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll probably redshirt this year, you know,
right.
Like not really taking it. I wouldn't say serious, but, you know, probably like won't have a chance to play. And then I get into camp and, you know, like I'm out there with the threes and stuff, you know, like not getting no real reps. And then they're like, oh, you've been doing well, you know, and then they just keep on saying it. And I kept on getting moved up the depth chart. And then next thing you know, I'm out there actually on the field.
So when the coaches say just work and we're going to play the best guys, that's real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, my dad always told me the work works, you know, so no matter what, if you're the last guy, the first guy, you always got to work because other people are working too. So, you know, that's something I always try to do, just outwork anyone. And, you know, last year I was able to show that the work works, you know, going out there, making a couple plays in front of bigger guys, stronger guys and stuff like that.
So you're in your first fall camp. At what point do you realize that Aiden Robbins has a broken rib and he's going to try to play, but you know, you can't play with a broken rib. So you're basically the starter the second game of the season against Southern Utah. So in camp, when did you know that, hey, that showtime is just around the corner for you?
I actually didn't know. I would say like the first scrimmage was when I was like, okay, I feel like I could play here.
Yeah.
Because that was like the first time ever going live in front of like those guys, you know, because, you know, coming out of high school, I just thought they were going to be like super big, super strong, which they are. But like, I was like, I guess I kind of belong here, you know. So just going through that first scrimmage because they rested Aiden, rested Hinckley. So I was able to go out there, get reps with the ones, and I was able to do pretty well. Scored like a touchdown in that scrimmage too. So like I was really excited after that.
Hinckley goes down. Then Robbins breaks his rib there in the last couple of weeks, and you're ready to play Division I football. What was the moment? Was there a hit? Was there a run where you're out on the field in games and you go, oh my goodness, I'm playing Division I football in front of 65,000 people?
Honestly, it never really hit me because the day before the game, coach was like, yeah, I'm going to give the bulk to Aiden and Dion, and then you'll come in some. I'll give you like the fourth drive. I think Aiden was going to get the first two. Dion was going to get the third. Yeah. I was going to get the fourth. The fourth drive comes around and I don't get in. So I was just like there waiting. I was like, I probably won't get in today. Like no big deal, you know. But I was just happy to be out there like in front of the fans and stuff, you know, just actually being on a Division I football field. And then next thing I know, I'm in the third quarter and then I'm running the ball. So that was like surreal to me.
What's the feeling when they say, LJ, you're in?
You get really nervous. So I was back there and we're looking at the signals, but I don't trust myself with the signals because I'm still learning them.
Yeah.
So I'm out there asking Keaton. I'm like, hey, Keaton, just can you repeat the play for me, you know, just to make sure I'm doing the right thing. So I just ran 3 fakes and then came back out. And then it was nothing. So
at what point, so you recognize, hey, I can play with these guys in a scrimmage. Now you're out there playing. At what point in the season last year did you recognize, not only can I play at this level, I can be pretty good. I belong out here with these guys in the Big 12. When did that hit you? I
would say it was Arkansas, you know, just going down there like all preseason. That was like kind of a game I was looking at like, oh, that would be fun, you know, just being at SEC Stadium, you know. I didn't expect to play in it, but I was just like, just being on the field, you know, just watching it, it'll be pretty cool and stuff like that. And then actually getting out there playing and then making a couple big runs and stuff like that. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. Like, I actually belong out here.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that touchdown run here in a couple of minutes.
Yes, we are.
Your journey to Provo is one that starts with your parents at work in El Paso, and then a coworker suggests, who is a BYU alum, hey, you should have LJ check out the Cougars. And then that starts a process that brings you here. How random is that?
Yeah, that was really random because, like, he said that, and then, like, the day after, I get a text from Coach McDaniel Tyson, and he's like, hey, are you interested in BYU? And then I'm like, you know, I hear about it. Like, I watch the games. I watch Tyler Algier a lot, actually.
Yeah.
You know, like, my first game watching him, I think, was when he had that chase down, the fumble.
Oh, against Arizona State?
Yeah, my dad paused the TV. He's like, come and look. You know, you got to watch this. Like, this guy's amazing, right? I'm like, yeah, he's pretty good, right? So I always just
pretty good. That's one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in my life.
And then he had another coworker that's like a super big fan. He's like, yeah, you got to tell your son to watch Tyler Algier. You know, like, this dude's awesome, right? So, yeah, we would always end up watching him. But, yeah.
Were you aware of Jamal Williams as well?
No, I didn't know he came to BYU. I wasn't. I would say around 2019 is when I started really watching, like, college football. Started paying attention.
So, we were thinking BYU is – we talk about quarterback but in terms of running backs, Jamal Williams was led the league in touchdowns 2 years ago. Tyler Algier was 1,000-yard rusher as a rookie in the league. They produced some big running backs in the last couple of years, and now here you are with a chance to put your mark. Does that history mean anything to you? And did that play into your decision to come?
Yes, it definitely did. You know, just knowing Coach Harvey, like, and knowing that he was able to put 2 running backs in the league, you know, help coach them and stuff like that. I was like, okay, this is a place where, you know, the league's an actual possibility, you know, because you go other places and they have good running back coaches, but sometimes, you know, they don't have no one that's in the league, or like they've never put no one in the league. So, you know, they might not know what it takes, or they don't know how to get there. And then Coach Harvey actually going there himself, like,
right.
You know, this guy could actually take me there.
Well, think about it. You've got you got Jamal, then you've got Algier, and then you've got Chris Brooks, and Aiden Robbins is now trying. That'd be 4 in a row, basically 4 in a row. And then here comes you with 4 coattails to help you in.
Yeah, hopefully that's the plan. Hopefully,
and frankly, if Taysom decided to just play running back, he might be the best.
Yeah, he
can pretty much do whatever he wants, right?
There's another example.
BYU running back L.J. Martin on the Wise Guys. In addition to his team-high 518 yards rushing, he caught 11 passes for 45 yards and another touchdown during that freshman season. You ran it about 205 to go along with your 6'2" frame.
Is that right? Were you 205 last year?
Yes.
How much bigger do you want to be August 31st? What weight are you looking for?
I'm trying to stay at 225.
225?
Yeah, that's where I got up to pretty quickly, and I feel like I could just stay here.
So you're up 20 from last year.
And so you're up 20 and maintain the same speed, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I actually feel a little bit faster. You know, the strength and conditioning staff, they've been doing a good job working with me and stuff like that.
Darius, is he faster?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just heard you say faster.
Now, if he said I'm even more punishing, you would have been okay with that, right?
We tease him all the time about him being fast.
Yeah.
Well, you let these guys give you crap about being fast?
It's because they don't understand.
Receivers, yeah, it's a different.
Exactly. They get all that open space, don't have to do nothing. You know, just catch the ball, go straight.
Yeah, just go straight.
You know, we gotta make a couple more cuts, and then, you know, pick up speed.
Chase
speed,
linebacker. Oh, yeah, you got it tough. You got a tough job.
Watching spring ball, especially in the first half of spring ball, watching Hinckley and you running downhill. In my mind, I'm thinking, whoa, some defenses by the third and fourth quarter this year are going to go, oh, these guys, I don't want to tackle these guys anymore. Is that the idea of getting the weight up to 225? Because that backfield is punishing right now.
That and, you know, I just felt like coming in, I was a freshman, and, you know, I just want to get bigger and stronger. So I felt like putting on some weight will help me do that.
Offensive line coach T.J. Woods was on Wise Guys last week, and we sat right there, and we said, hey, what question do you want us to ask LJ?
Yeah.
And he said, well, here's what I'd like you to ask him. Quote, do you know how to use your big weapon?
Yeah, he always talks about my stiff arm.
Is that what it is?
He didn't tell us. He just said, ask him about his big weapon.
Yeah, he's always talking about my stiff arm just because he wants me to use it more. Because I used to use it a lot in high school, but now, like, guys are bigger and stuff, so I just kind of, like, give them a shoulder and they bounce off. Like, you know, Coach Harvey always talks about having low pad level because then it's harder to wrap up, like, your whole body compared to the stiff arm, because I feel like sometimes when you stiff arm, you give them your whole body.
And are you worried they'll just grab your arm and hang on?
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. But, yeah, I started using it more, especially once he came around. He started telling me to use it more.
So that's the big weapon. So on August 31st, we'll anticipate the big weapon.
We're going to look for the big weapon.
Yeah,
we might even call it the big weapon when he uses it in one of our broadcasts.
The big weapon. We were wondering, and he was pretty proud of that question. He's like, ask him about that.
Speaking of TJ and the offensive line, what are you seeing? We talked to Darius about it a little bit. What are you seeing from this offensive line as a guy that's running behind it in spring ball that has you optimistic for this fall?
Yeah, I feel like they're just more efficient and just like more. They just have more juice to them. I feel like last year they were kind of a little bit dead. But now they're always on track, like always know what they're doing and just, always get into their places. And it's a lot easier to read the combo blocks, stuff like that. There's times where I'm going untouched through the hole, which really helps a lot.
Yeah, Coach and others have mentioned that, like, everybody's made a step forward, but he mentioned Caleb Eddying and said, yeah, he's really improved. And that's a big dude. That's one of the biggest humans I've ever seen. What have you seen in his game that's improved? Because he's going to be an important part of opening up holes for you up there.
Yeah, I've seen it with the whole line, just having Coach Woods, he's taking them to the next level, I feel like. And, they've all been making plays. I always knew that they had the ability to. And then especially seeing it this year in spring, I'm able to see the holes really opening up and things like that.
Yeah, well, we're excited about that. Coming in as a 2-time Class 5A Texas MVP, LJ Martin getting ready for his second season. Let's talk about 3 of your biggest runs. Yeah. And we'll relive them.
Okay.
Only but through words,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned Arkansas, the 45-yard touchdown against Arkansas. You're not in El Paso anymore, and there aren't high school kids trying to tackle you. These are SEC guys.
And contrary to what Darius is saying over there, it seemed like you had some speed on that one.
You broke through that line. Walk us through what happened.
So just like the couple of series before, we weren't getting nothing, and just being on the field with them, those dudes were huge. I don't know if you've seen the DNs, but
yeah, they were some big guys.
Big, yeah.
It was like 6'7", 270 on one end and 6'7", 250 on the other end. I was like, dang, these guys are huge. And then, just going back out there and then, having Kingsley and Waylon leading the way for me. And then Kingsley had a good kick out block. Waylon had a good block upfield. And then, the rest, I just had to hit the hole, and then there was no one there. I had Darius blocking for me a little bit.
He helped pave the way. Were you afraid, and you just got in, were you afraid they were going to catch you before you got to the goal line?
Yeah, I definitely was because I could see him at first, and then he just disappeared. So then I could hear him, and then he just went quiet, like out of nowhere. So I was just like trying to find him, and I couldn't find him. So I was like, maybe he just stopped, and then
Was it Darius that got him?
Nah, he didn't. He didn't block for me. I know, right? That's what we talked about.
Because they got a hold of you right about the one, didn't they?
Right about the one, yeah. So then I found him, grabbed my leg. I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna stop right now and let Darius get a touchdown out of it." So I was just trying everything I could to get in the end zone.
You did the right thing.
You did the right thing,
and you win the game. You go to Arkansas and you beat those guys. Running into the locker room after doing that, you're 3-0, and I mean, what's the buzz?
Oh, it was surreal, like just actually beating them. Like I don't know, just because I had like friends back home like saying like, "Oh, I'm betting on you guys to win," I'm like, all right, do it. Like I got you guys, And then for it to actually happen, it was just surreal. That was my first Power 5 win, in college and stuff like that, and it was just really fun. Just I would say that was the funnest game for me. Just realizing like there's playmakers all over the field. Like in high school, no offense to my team, but it was. If I wasn't doing nothing, then the team wasn't getting going. But, like that last drive, I think we threw a ball to Keelan like 30 yards down the field. And that was a big catch. And then Chase with the one-hander. Right. Just close out the game. Like, that was crazy. I've never seen that. So, like, for me to be on the field and actually watching it was just, like, surreal.
That's fun. Yeah.
ESPN figured that Chase's catch was more dramatic than Darius's catch. Would you say?
Yeah, because Darius was only number 3 on the Sports Center top 10.
And Chase was number 1.
Chase was 1.
Is that about right?
I would say so because it kind of won us the game,
Yeah.
Because of the
That's
moment.
what Darius said, because of the moment.
Because of the moment. But the catches were equally phenomenal.
Yeah, they were both insane. I've yet to do it, so I can't say anything about it. But hopefully this year I'll get a chance.
Did they have they using you more catching the ball in the backfield?
A little bit. We're doing more screens, and then hopefully they'll hit the check down a little bit more this year and stuff like that. That would be fun, so I could get out in space. But
good.
So let's go to touchdown number 2, the 29-yard touchdown against Cincinnati. Another one where speed was displayed.
Yeah.
And this one was in your house. This was at Lavelle Edwards.
Yeah, that one was really fun. Because actually, like the luck, it was a check play, right? So we were gonna run our speed option, and then I was like, "Hey, Keaton, like check it," because they just had a whole bunch of dudes overloaded for some reason. I was like confused, like why they were doing it. So sure enough, we checked it the other way to a mid zone, and there was no one over there, and then I just ran right to the end zone.
Now that's what I like to hear. A running back who's like, "Hey, quarterback, there's too many dudes over there. Let's run it over here. And then the quarterback's like, okay,
Yeah.
touchdown.
Yeah,
That's
I'm glad
big
he
time.
listened.
Freshmen's making play calls out there.
What's the sound like when you break through the line and now you're at the 15-yard line and you know you're going to score and you feel the home crowd also sensing you're going in?
It's actually crazy because like you could feel it like once you actually score, but like in the moment, like you don't hear nothing. Like
Really?
you're just like
Is it just dead silent?
I don't know. I can't tell you. Like I just don't hear nothing really. Like
And then when
just
you're
so
across the
focused.
goal line,
That's
then
when you hear everything. You know, you hear the fireworks.
The
going,
sound
it
goes
feels
back
real
up
good. Yup.
when you go in.
Interesting.
That is really interesting. Okay, how about the 5-yard touchdown against Texas Tech? Probably the greatest display of speed all year.
It really set the tone for the game, too.
Yeah. See, this is the one we always talk about, right? Because it actually wasn't a touchdown. I ended up getting caught, but
Right.
you know, I was able to make that first guy miss, and then it was actually right. So Keelan and Darius are my roommates, right? And they're like, "You need to unhook the wagon," and I was like, "Well, Keelan, that's the guy that's guarding you. You think I'm faster than you?" Right, so that's my point. But anyways, if you see on the film, I'm running that way at first. But then I see Darius' guy, the one that he's supposed to block, running towards me. So then I try to bend it back, and then Keelan's guy ends up catching me.
So your roommates didn't
That's
help
right.
you at all on that play? Is that what you're saying?
Basically,
That's right. And I got to correct myself because it was a 55-yard run, the longest run, but it didn't. You didn't score. And
Nope.
what you're telling us is this is all about Darius and Keelan.
Yep. If they would have ran down the field, you know, and made a block, get in the way, you know, I think I end up scoring. I'd be thanking them at the house.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, that was a great block. Thank
Daddy
you.
was like,
get
where
it.
were you guys?
I get it.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But I imagine you guys have a pretty fun place.
Yeah. It gets fun.
Yeah, those sound like a couple of good roommates. There's a theme, though. When you have big runs, the BYU wins.
Yeah.
Because the ones we just mentioned, those are big time games. So we need a few more big runs.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
we need Darius and Keelan to block.
Yeah.
And Chase with his big old arms now. He should be able to block.
That'll help a lot. So, yeah, I'm hoping they'll block this year.
When you go through spring and you know that the focus is on the running game, and you know that the running game wasn't anywhere where you wanted it to be last year as a team, and so do you feel the weight of your running back room going, hey, the theme for this spring is we got to run the football, and we're going to go into the fall, and the theme's going to be successful in the Big 12, we got to run the football, and you're the guys that got to do it.
Yeah, I think we love it. You know, the guys in our room, you know, we want to be the ones that carry the load. You know, that's all we want to do. We want to run the ball as much as we can. We hope we never have to throw the ball in the air to Darius. You know, that would be fun a couple times, but when the ball's in the air, you know,
Just to set up your next run, you know, that maybe they might throw it again.
And honestly, the better you guys are at doing that, the more big plays the guys on the outside are going to get in play action, because play action is the way to get the ball deep. You know, get everybody to bite.
Yeah.
When you're dominating them in the run game, get over the top to Darius and Chase and all these guys.
yeah.
Well, as a newcomer to collegiate football and collegiate sports, and we want to ask you about the Royal Blue Collective, and we asked Darius that a little bit, and he's got a different perspective because he's almost done with his college career. How has the collective been for you?
They've helped out a lot, you know. I mean, just coming in, I didn't really expect nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect to get nothing except a scholarship, really. And that's all I really wanted. So, you know, just for them to be able to give us a few extra dollars and stuff like that, it really helps out a lot, especially like the walk-ons, like Darius said, you know, just having everyone's able to eat from it. So it really helps out a lot.
Mark Comer's been here a couple of times, and we've asked all the players that have come through. The vision for BYU of it's not just we're going to hand you a few bucks, but we have a plan for your life. Do you catch the vision of that as a guy in the starting spot, really, of how are you guys really going to help me plan my life as they lay things out?
Yeah, you definitely see it. You know, they're able to do things like get your connections and stuff like that, you know, whatever your major is. Like for someone majoring in business, you know, they get you with a couple business guys, you know, and those are your mentors. They're teaching you like the in and outs, how to save money, how to spend money, and kind of like, you know, like taxes and actually like tax deadlines today, right? So like, they're teaching you like some things to write it off. So like if you're LLC, like all football expenses, they could be written off as,
Yeah.
you know.
And you know what? That's good to know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's a great mentoring program. I love that, you know, the vision that BYU has with, and Kalani really believes in that. Kalani just doesn't want to, hey, let's try to be the highest bidder. He wants to have it be different, where they give you guys some life skills and some lifetime connections and teach you how to run businesses, so you don't just make a little bit of money while you're here, but you make money for the rest of your life. Do the guys that you're seeing them recruit, do they get that? Do you guys help spread that news?
Yeah, we try to. I feel like if you want to come here, like a lot of people that do come here, it's bigger than football for them,
Yeah.
just because where we're at, there's just good people around us and things like that. You make lifelong connections out here, and it's really bigger than football.
All right, look, you ready for 5 questions?
Yeah.
Have you had you got a kind of a sneak preview of what was coming at you?
Yeah. So you had time to think a little bit more. Darius had to answer it off the top of his head and did a phenomenal job, by the way. I love
We
this cereal
expect that
choice.
from a senior.
Frosted Flakes is an outstanding choice.
Yeah.
We trend toward sugar cereals here. We like those. So,
We're all about healthy living,
yeah, but not when it
not
comes to
breakfast.
breakfast cereal. Come on, you got to
I'm the
start your
same
day
way.
out right. So yeah, okay. So let's start with your favorite sports movie.
Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Space Jam. I guess it counts. A BYU grad was in Space Jam, or a BYU player. Sean Bradley.
Was he in that?
Yeah, he was in Space
nice.
Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was great. Tremendous actor. Just so
Tremendous actor.
I guess humor me with a quick Sean Bradley story.
Now you know Sean. Do you know Sean?
Yeah, he's
7'6".
Yeah, 7'6" player. So
When he was playing, then he went through a tough accident.
Yeah.
and is paralyzed.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
his when he set the school record.
He's led the
block
nation in block shots.
taller than
Like
everyone.
phenomenal. Played with the Sixers, but first round draft pick. We were playing a benefit flag football game, kind of like the alumni game last week that Dave and I broadcast.
Yeah.
Same kind of rules. Utah versus BYU, and we put these teams together. And I was young enough to play back in the day. Now, like, I can't run. I'll blow out both hamstrings.
It looks like you still can, though.
You guys, you know what? We got to bring Darius and LJ back every week.
I know it.
So,
you guys are the best.
but I did commit I'll play next year. But because if Steve Young can play, then I certainly can play because he and I were teammates. But
Yeah, we'll see.
we'll
see about.
Well, once we found out that they don't rush the passer anymore, we were all in. They did rush the passer in this thing. It was real flag football where the quarterback can get sacked. But we had Sean Bradley come to the game, but nobody knew. We had him back in the locker room. It was up at Utah. And the first time we drove down, we get down to like the 15-yard line. We had it all staged where the announcer says, looks like BYU's bringing in the secret weapon. So Sean runs out of the tunnel. He comes and he lines up at wide receiver. He just goes to the corner of the end zone. And I just throw the ball like 12 feet up. DBs are jumping up and down like munchkins. And he catches the ball and spikes it.
Awesome.
So, yeah, our secret weapon was a 7'6" wide receiver named
Tough
Sean
to keep
Bradley.
that a secret.
It was
a weapon that's 7'6".
so fun to have Sean. And I was standing next to him on the sideline when defense was out there and talking to him, but I wasn't looking at him. And I turned and I looked at him and I realized I was talking right into his hip.
Oh,
Like
shoot.
he's that tall.
He's a big dude.
It's crazy. He's one of the biggest humans you've ever met. So a little Sean Bradley story. Okay, Space Jam. Favorite singer or band?
I would probably say Usher.
Yeah, man, that's old school.
Yeah, that's my dad's guy. So like that's all my dad played growing up. And
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay,
I love
can
it.
appreciate that.
I love it. Favorite breakfast cereal?
Fruity Pebbles.
Got to eat them quick,
Have you ever had?
or they go soft.
Have you
right?
ever
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
Fruity Pebbles? You know how you make Rice Krispie treats? Have you ever had them made out of Fruity Pebbles?
I never tried that.
Oh,
That
guys,
sounds-
you guys.
That sounds good.
Mama Fowler's gonna make some for you guys, and I'll have to have Gavin bring it. I'm gonna tell him just you bring these to Darius and LJ. Coach Fowler, bring those to you. When you try those, that's it. You won't ever have another regular Rice Krispie treat. You're gonna
You
have to
won't
have
go
the
back?
Fruity Pebbles Rice Krispie treats.
Okay, that's a commitment.
So okay, I'm gonna get them from Mama Fowler, my wife,
Sounds
Brenda.
good.
So, favorite football moment of all time?
I would say probably getting my first offer, or like my first camp that led to my offer. That was probably like my biggest moment.
So who did that come from? Who was your first?
Was it
offer?
Baylor?
No, it was UTSA, but
Okay.
at the camp, it was a SMU camp. I didn't do so. Like it's a crazy story because I went to Texas State the day before. I didn't do well, and then I went to SMU at a mega camp, and I was running the 40. This dude comes up to me, don't know who he is, and he's like, "But I just see he has OU hat on." He's like, "What class are you?" I'm like 23, right? He has stuff about me real quick. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna be following you around." Whatever, right? Sure enough, he's following me. First college coach I ever talked to. This dude ends up following me around and stuff like that. He ends up giving me his number. He's like, yeah, just save it as DeMarco Murray. I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm
Yeah.
From OU, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like because I mean, growing up,
Sure.
everyone was Cowboys fans around me. So DeMarco Murray, that's all they're talking about and stuff like that. So like, I'm like, oh shoot, that's
Yeah,
DeMarco
that's
Murray.
big time. Yeah,
So yeah,
that's
So,
pretty cool.
so now you're going back to a mega camp at SMU on September 6th, but running for the Cougs.
yeah.
They're gonna go, man. We should have
Back in your
got
home
him
state,
when we
right?
was at the camp.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be real fun.
That'll be really cool.
Be a long drive up from El Paso, but everyone's coming.
8 hours. Yeah.
Awesome.
Everyone should be coming.
That's awesome. Okay, your favorite thing about BYU?
Favorite thing, the people. Just really good people, solid people. Just care for you as a person, and that's something I really admire about them.
Were you surprised? Because you came in cold turkey on your visit to Provo, Utah, and now as you've been here for a year, were people nicer than you thought? What?
No, just from the time I met Coach Harvey. I mean, I knew him for about a month before I signed, but just talking to him, talking to everyone else, like they just seemed like genuine. Really one of the best.
And then when you got here, they were.
Yeah, so that was a relief.
Have you ever watched film of Coach Harvey in college?
Yeah, we do. We always bring up that clip of him playing in the Utah game
where he ran over the dude and then stood over him.
Yeah, and then he smacks him or something.
Does he make you watch those, or does someone else put them on?
He gets mad actually when you play him and stuff. He's like, take that off and stuff. So
yeah, he was the definition of a beast when he ran.
For a guy who's so nice and soft spoken, you give him the football.
He punished some people in his day. Yeah.
And
he punished that safety from Utah.
And I remember when you were signed, we were talking to him. We had him on the show, and he said there's a lot in you that was in him.
Yeah, he told us before you came.
He was a little heavier, but
that he saw a lot of the things that he did in you, and that's why he wanted you to be up here. That's a big compliment because he was a great player.
Yeah, I really appreciate him for that. And yeah, he was one great player. Played for the Bears for a while and stuff like that. So, just to get that from him is a real big compliment.
It's great to have you here. It's nice to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're not in practice. You're not tired. You're not in a helmet. This is just straight who you are. And your parents can see the clip and listen to the podcast tomorrow. And they'll go, hey, that's what your boy's up to here as we get ready to wrap up the semester.